Fucking camper.
Just so you know, guys, we'll probably have training with another team today.
I'm hot. And I get naded so hard. Fuck my life. Okay. Welcome to the stack home. Uns. Okay. Das sind noch mehr, das sind noch mehr. Felix, mach doch nicht weg.
Oh yeah, I know what you need to do.
I sent the picture, but it's...
Ich kümmere mich um dich.
Yeah, I got it. You see the first select game. The first part.
Da liegt noch einer mit dem G.
Ich bin bei dir, ja?
Yeah, there is when you see that on the left side where should be the list of channels, the first is select games. Click that. Find
Yep, now I can see. Now I can see. Perfect, thank you so very much.
Jetzt kommt eine Granate.
yeah, it's okay.
Ich bin erledigt. Helft mir. Sanitäter!
Service Medic. Tja. Revive the pushing B. Oh, tank on B. Fuck. Go, go, go! Blow up! No. Oh.
Happy, did you apply for... Did you apply for...
Also, ich will Verstärkung haben.
See. I'm dying so many stupid times now.
Okay guys, just so you know, I'm moving that.
How many people are there already?
Not much. But they will come this time.
It's like the girls, right? When you come and you show up,
Oh yeah.
Granate geworfen.
Run. Direkt hinter der Mauer.
Ich bin erledigt. Helft mir.
Vielen Dank, guys.
Ich sterbe. Ich brauche Hilfe. Scheiße. Helft mir.
How the fuck did you... Alter, da hat mich jetzt einer revived. Ja, aber bringt halt nichts. Wenn keiner aus unserem User-Team mal joinen, liefern.
Ich komme gar nicht mehr drauf.
Ja, es ist gerade... Gegner liefen gerade, weil wir beim Endpunkt angekommen sind, aber unsere halt nicht. Na, das ist so Siegesgewiss, diese kleinen Burschen. Du kannst natürlich unsere Streams währenddessen verfolgen. Dann siehst du mal, wie man stirbt. Ich hab gerade so 17 zu 8. Ich hab von 8 aufgestellt. Oh Gott, und ich hab ein neues Mal.
Ich bin getroffen. Hilfe.
Wieso bist du her? Ich möchte weggehen. Holy fuck. Irgendwas passiert gerade, aber es ist schlecht. Kann ich noch hoch? Gegner, direkt im Smoke sind 5 Gegner.
Ja, helft mir. Verdammt nochmal.
Ich hab dir vertraut.
Ich bin erledigt.
Ich wollte Follow over ZZZ.
Jo, danke.
Your support is greatly appreciated on my stream. tot. Da sind 3. Das war schlecht gesehen. Mach sie tot. Ja, rechts hinten. Ich höre ihn hier. Ich sehe überhaupt nicht mein.
Keine Sorge, ich helfe dir.
Punkte noch. Enemy Hit 91, gut gestealt. Kill, geil, Kill, geil.
Kommt man hier noch rein?
Ja, jetzt liefen bestimmt gleich ein paar Peoples.
Paar Peoples, oder? Paar Village Peoples.
Ich weiß jetzt sowieso nicht, was jetzt dann gleich passiert, was jetzt quasi sei Canning ist oder Besprechung oder was auch immer.
Was ist
Kurz
das für
eine
ein Training?
Frage.
Ja.
Seid ihr vom anderen Clan?
Ja, wir sind
Ja.
mehr oder weniger beigetreten dem Clan für Competitive Games.
Okay.
Also wir sind die Neuen hier. Hallo.
Ach so, okay, hi.
Sind die Neuen. Die neuen Alten.
Ehemals KSB. Wobei, Pepe, du hast noch nicht mal KSB als Clan-Tag drin.
Nö. Die zahlen mir nichts dafür.
Ach. Wenn es da danach geht, dann müsstest du aufhören, das Spiel zu spielen. Seleni joined the game. Ah, schon wieder nur der Ping. Jawohl. Oh, Team Deathmatch mit den Häusern. Das ist natürlich auch nice. Okay, wie ist die Map? Ja.
Wo müssen wir eigentlich hin?
Ja, es ist Team Deathmatch.
Müssen wir gerade so. 100%ig.
Evening,
Ja, aber-
guys.
How you doing, guys?
Hey, come.
How are you?
Yes, how are you doing?
Ah, very good match.
Nice. Happy?
Hinter dir.
Sanitäter!
In our house?
Lu.
Okay, Charisma.
Okay, das war klasse.
Warum reanimieren denn?
Everybody in the tunnel from the competition team.
I believe so.
Should. Yes.
Go.
Mary, Peppy, and have you guys.
Hello.
Hey guys.
Von mir, go.
so ein Scheiß, mate.
Ich bin getroffen! Hilfe!
Doc, me and Guess will be back in a wee sec. Guess, you want to move down to the ladies channel a wee sec? Aye. Take me down.
Scheiße! Helft mir!
Hello.
Can you hear me alright?
Yep.
Hey, Lulu.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Two guys behind the wall.
Granate geworfen!
In the corner, in the corner. Oh god.
Scheiße! Helft mir!
Any one of you already played this new map on Team Deathmatch?
I never played Team Deathmatch, but I'm on this one server right now.
New Mercury this week played the Frontlines and Team Deathmatch rotation. It's kinda really clusterfuck.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's really clusterfuck, it's around the villages.
Mich hast erwischt! Brauche Sanitäter!
I mean, the new announcements today look pretty good though.
Yeah. And
Excited.
different announcements are coming.
Sanitäter! Ich bin getroffen!
Such.
Hilfe!
Is the EA Play then?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Only half an hour. Battlefield. I think it's around 11 o'clock, but I'm not sure which time zone.
Yeah, they can do a lot.
Probably it's like late.
Yeah, pretty late for us probably.
Fiber kicker.
Alright, so what's the plans tonight then?
Yeah, I'm waiting.
I join you, Drew. I really like that.
No,
Sanitäter! Ich krepiere ihn noch!
Just battle.
Two guys in the. One down.
Peppy, one more thing. You need to, after camp accepted you,
What? What I have to do?
after you've been accepted, your orientation.
If you log in on the website, there's a button next to your
Ich
name.
sterbe!
There's orientation. Just have to click it.
Yes.
Ich halte nicht mehr lange durch!
Ah, don't blame it on the pain.
He always blames it on the ping.
It's always the ping or the mouse. I know my mouse is broken, so if I play that shit tonight, I know why.
To be fair, he actually has a good internet connection, but after 2 a.m. because somehow it's overloaded by a lot.
What time is there? What time zone you guys in?
German, so
Oh, that's you're only like 2 hours ahead.
9 o'clock.
Yeah, it's 9.
Sometimes he has like an 8 ping, and sometimes he has a 100 ping.
I would tend to check that with the provider.
There is only one provider.
Unless he says, I'll get it fixed for you.
Who's your provider?
I'll follow you for a second.
He was so gone. Gone forever.
Okay, this new map is really much a clusterfuck.
Mich hat's erwischt! Brauche Sanitäter!
But it's good for stat padding.
Keine Sorge, ich helfe dir!
Erste Hilfe vernetzt. Kann mir jemand helfen? Herzlichen Dank.
We're doing well, we are in the lead. No, we are not.
Zusätzliche Munition.
Ich hab ne Bombe für Sie!
Oh.
Blut!
Welche Ecke?
Helft mir! Verdammt nochmal!
There's steps.
Ich bin getroffen! Hilfe!
Level 1.
Bedankt dich später.
Upstairs.
Kannst du, Kinder?
Scheiße! Helft mir!
Okay, guys. So, what we talk about game tactics. So,
Gleich
as
geht's
I
dir besser.
explained
Ich blute!
so many
Helft mir!
times, especially big matches, all of us
Granate! Runter!
our mics do not collide.
Sanitäter!
Komm zurück, Soldat!
Enemies for the match. So I want everybody to have a setup for the push to talk button. My advice, put it on the mouse so it doesn't get in the way when you play. What else? I like that we are starting to utilize more scope. I like that we're starting finally
Hier ist etwas Munition.
to work as a team.
We've only played 2 matches. For fuck's sakes.
Yeah, 2 matches. 2 matches are good. We should play 10 matches. And actually, it's not 2 matches more. Yes, we.
Hier Munition, Soldat!
The screen also.
So 3.
It's
I can't remember. I think I missed two, didn't I?
Yeah.
I was on holiday,
You
so I think that's it.
you were on vacation. Also, I've seen we need to, when we revive somebody, I told to do that, to check our surroundings. Is it clear? So there were situations where one player revived and losing two players is not good.
Mich hat's erwischt! Brauche Sanitäter!
Lose one and the other one keep fighting or fail so that the other guy can
Kann
respond.
mir jemand helfen?
If everybody understood that.
Ich sterbe! Ich brauche Hilfe!
Yes.
About those strategies, I don't think those were gonna work. They're too complicated. And I'm thinking as the situation we had, I'm thinking that strategy. So I will give an example for Aras when one team goes for B flag while other one goes for the other flag, the A, I think. If we are playing against the British. One team will lose the battle, but the other one will capture the other objective. So to keep the enemy always occupied, they cannot fight on two fronts. Divide them, either one flag or the other, and we should try to do that for most of the maps. And also a remind, stick to your teammates as much as possible. Okay.
Sounds about right.
Yep. And now. Ready if, so because I'm typing something. So we can join, we can find the match so we can start playing until this other team joins.
Sorry, I'm late, fuckers.
That's
Yeah.
okay. We'll let you off.
You can let me off, you know.
One question, Rich.
What?
Did you suck my exhaust pipe?
No, but I'm gonna eat now. Are you gonna listen or do I have to mute?
Mute.
Push to talk.
Push the
He'll
top.
be, you know, last week would go push to talk, yet he's still pushing the button when he eats.
Oh yeah.
To annoy the shit out of us.
Yeah,
You think
probably.
that you need to push it while eating, huh?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Hi.
Okay,
Right.
Super Sans.
Right, well,
I'm
wait a
out.
minute. So, what are we planning to play against these other guys if they're coming tonight?
Yeah, I don't know. The
Because
guys.
there's so many of us. We can't all play Squad Conquest, obviously.
Yeah. What I'm thinking,
Oh,
we'll see. We can start occupying one server. So for an hour we can switch players so everybody can play for one match.
Well, I'm in a squad Conquest now, but there's only one spot, so I can quit this and we can look for another one if you want.
It's interesting. There's 13 people in this channel right now. We could all almost occupy an entire server.
Pretty much, yeah. And battle against each other.
Yeah. Just get in a couple of practice runs. I know I missed the meeting, and I apologize for that. I totally lost track of time.
Yeah, it's
But-
not a problem. So, Geofons, this is more for EU1 than NA. But
Gotcha. Well, something that I kind of wanted to bring up.
something that I noticed from like our last comp game that I played in, where we got our asses handed to us getting spawn trapped, is the strategies that we used did not work well against the way that they were playing. What I had noticed is that our strategy does not do effective if they're rushing all the objectives in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And we didn't have any contingency plans for what would happen if we lost a point. We kind of just left it up to somebody to make call outs, and that didn't go well.
That's what I'm talking about. So we divide. So we attack all the objectives as they did, and we negate that they're attacking because all the time we are attacking 2 objectives. So then that is mostly about what we do as a team than the strategy generally. So,
like if we play positive and attacking is much better anyway.
yeah.
And then we'll win.
In other words, be aggressive as you can on all
Yeah.
of it.
And
You
have
die,
we
you
come to
die.
a
No,
decision-
doesn't matter.
Have we come to a decision on how we will handle having both squads in the channel or not? Because I voted against. I voted for having the squads talk in game and the squad leads communicate with each other through Discord. That's I think the most effective way to handle communication. So there's not the confusion or cross communications or one person out voicing others.
Actually, I think that's a good idea. I don't know what everybody else thinks.
I agree.
Agree.
No.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that yet, just because I wouldn't do that yet, just because we haven't developed an efficient way of communicating with each other. Everyone's gonna feel like they have something to prioritize to speak, and that's still gonna get out of hand. Or when everyone starts losing their tempers, if we are losing horribly, which is what happened the last game that I played, everybody was losing tempers. Communications are still gonna get clogged up. So I would say until we figure out a not necessarily a perfect system, but definitely a better system of communicating, we should keep the squad separate, and only the designated squad leads will be in communication with each other to coordinate.
What I could say to with this is that the last game that we just played there, we played against a team in the league, and our comms were on point, where the squad leaders were giving out orders, and the team were following, and the people that were speaking mostly was just the squad leaders, and it worked well because both teams knew where they would be in the map and what objectives to push, which was really helpful. When everybody else starts speaking, it becomes hard to understand where the orders are coming from. So what I would say is I think it would be a bad idea if we split both teams up because we won't know where each other are going. I think it would be a good thing if only the squad leaders give orders and give out just relevant information. Try and keep the comms as small as possible, and give it a go to see if it works. Because it seemed to work okay in the last game.
And I totally understand that. My suggestion was that if we only have squad leads in Discord, that means that you're right, because we're not going to know the location of who's where unless we look at like the map or we have somebody directly talking about it. But if we do this method, then that means that the squads have to stick to their squad leads in order for the squad lead to effectively communicate where his squad is. Because if we have rogue players, then the squad lead can't, there won't be a good way of being able to tell each other, who's where on the map. So by forcing the two squads apart, this also forces the squad lead to make sure that his squad is with him, so that him or her, so that when he communicates or when he or she communicates, their position, then there won't be any confusion as to, okay, so well, why is your guy over in this area instead?
That's going to happen anyway.
of course, it's
Things
gonna
will
happen.
mix up at times.
It is gonna happen. You're right. I think that having this restriction though is going to help better put squads on leashes.
The thing is, you're probably talking about a 2 seconds delay maybe between shots. You know, by the time I'm squad lead, Cam's saying something, just as an example. By the time I put it back to my team, we all know at the pace Battlefield 1, Battlefield 5 is moving, they're gone. They won't be there.
And totally understandable, valid point. But the thing is like
it's all about self-control, mate. If we go by self-control and we do a few nights and we're like, right, we'll stick to the comms as we've got it in Discord.
You're right.
You know, we don't want to hear who's hiding behind a rock. If you want to point an enemy, that's what Q is there for, you know, pin it, pops on the map, squad can talk, you know, I don't know.
And I get where you guys are coming from. I'm not totally dismissing it. I'm only giving you my input because as you guys know, I did serve in the military, and these are challenges that we faced while we were out in the field, was how to effectively communicate with squads, especially if you weren't in direct, because again, in real life, there is no way to keep every soldier on one radio comms and then everybody's talking. No, like it's usually one radio person per team or per squad, and those are the guys that are in communication with each other, giving out information based on what their assignments are. So that's kind of where I'm bringing this in. It's like if you have one person who's your designated radio person, then they're the ones that are going to keep each other in the loop, while the rest of the squad works individually, within themselves as a team.
No, totally understandable.
That's why you have trainings and you can try that shit. You don't have to.
Yeah, you learn. You learn to train yourself to be.
I mean, who's the training officer, Droga, and who you can write that down and you can try it on the training tonight. I mean, that's why you have trainings. It's no harm done, right?
Yeah, I think so too. I think you should try different kinds of communications and see what works best for the team.
That's why trainings are. I mean,
Yeah.
try it and see, right?
I agree what Gio's just said, and I've tried to put forward a thing where we can all be in the same Discord channel, but what we do, we just mute everyone in the opposite squad, bar the squad leader. So the squad leader can, when he talks, he'll be talking to his squad, he can relay back from the squad as well. And so, because where I find, there's someone coming up the alley, or there's someone at this point, we all tend to move towards there, even the other squads. So it'd be nice to be able to, that squad's looking, say, like a B point, and we're at Charlie, but then we're hearing, we've got multiples here, we've got multiples there. It's kind of pulling us off. So it would be nice, what Gio was saying, just to maybe try it one time and see how it works. If it doesn't work, we'll look for something else. But I do think sometimes we can get distracted by comms, which doesn't really apply to us.
Well, you gotta understand that, like, we tried this once in TeamSpeak, where squad leaders were able to whisper between themselves, and you had both teams in the channel, and some squad leaders failed to recognize the voice, or maybe didn't know who's talking to who. So that's gonna be stressful for the squad leaders. You gotta understand that. It's gonna be easier for a player, but it's gonna be stressful. I mean, harder for a squad leader. So you gotta bear that in mind.
Here's how this system works differently. Now that we're using Discord, is that we don't have the ability to do that whisper thing. So you can tell the difference when someone's talking in game and when someone's talking in Discord. The chats are relatively different, and not to mention on in game, on the UI, you'll see who it is that's communicating in your squad. Whereas in here, we need to rely on the overlay. Not everybody has the overlay, so it makes it difficult to see who exactly is talking. So at least this way. Squad leaders aren't going to be as confused, because they'll know, this is my squad mate talking in game, so they'll be able to tell the difference. The other thing that comes into effect, or that comes down to this, is I do know that Guess Who had mentioned that there's going to be that 2-second delay with communication and stuff. That comes down to effectively changing the way that you communicate. You can't, like, the shorter your message is, the easier it's going to be to transmit to the other squad. So if you have like this long, plan of action or something that you want to put into effect in the middle of a game, then you're absolutely right. That's going to take too long to implement between separate squads, which is why having a decisive plan before we go into a match is going to be crucial, which I already know you guys are working on. But getting it down packed, doing the trainings to make sure that everybody knows how the maneuvers, coming up with a name for the maneuvers so that you're not describing like, hey, I need squad A to go to this objective and hold this point. Instead, we discuss what this plan is, do the training for it, and then we say, hey, we need to do this, whatever named maneuver, Delta maneuver or something, and everybody will know, okay, this is my position and this is where I need to go. So again, shorten your comms, so that transmission isn't taking too long. But again, all this is going to come down to training. It's